Introduce us a couple of StarCraft players, shall we? A couple of root boys. To the top left-hand corner of the map is going to be our red Terran player. Let's hear it, guys. If you're cheering on Root Gaming's Kelazhur. In this root team kill, we are going to be having to the bottom right-hand side the blue Zerg player. It is going to be JimRising, who we just saw win with a 2-0 in the ZVP just previously. Real logo looks pretty good in game, doesn't it? You know what would be really good? If it wasn't on like a stupid like see-through square thing, if it was just the shape of the logo. You know, like, you know, I'm not saying like the blue square, I'm saying like the... I'm not saying that blue rectangle is part of the logo, I'm saying like the blue square here on the Terran, or like the, you know, like the purple Zerg icon. If it's just kind of the logo in its own, it's like a bit better. Not that it really makes much of a difference. Will the whole NA qualifier be played today? Is my shift button stuck? Is that how... Oh. Oh. Getting confused there. The whole NA qualifier will be played today. We'll be going through the entire thing. So we're in for, again, a nice long stream, basically. So that'll be good. As you do see, hatch gas pool from JimRising. Now, the interesting thing is coming down from Kelazhur to the top left. He's going to be opening up with the 3 racks Reaper, which is, of course, a very much so... It's a build which we see a lot on this map. The 3 barracks are going to be used to produce only Reapers. And then Reapers can kind of jump on in here and just kind of move around, kind of in the main, and jump down, and, you know, move around, you know, just outside the main base as well. And yeah, just going to be seeing these Reapers looking to come across the map and looking to get something done over the next couple of moments. So we'll be watching these. As we see a depot coming down from Kelazhur too. So Kelazhur dropping down a depot. And there's the Reaper force to follow. Perfect! I love following a Reaper, don't you guys? I love it. Beautiful. It's a beautiful thing to follow. As we're going to see this Reaper coming across towards the lower right hand side of the map. A few more Reapers on the way up. So Kelazhur just... Reaper, Reaper, Reaper. Lots of Reapers on the way. We're going to see a Rotoran dropping down for JimRising. As going to be seen... I mean, he recognizes what's going on here, basically, and so he's just going to start that Rotoran up. That way he was always planning to go Rotoran. I guess he never started Link Speed, so maybe this was his plan from the get-go. Or, I mean, he's teammates with Kelazhur, so maybe just knows that this is what Kelazhur likes to do on this map, and so was... Anyway, I mean, there's so many possibilities. I mean, the lack of a Link Speed generally suggests he was planning to go Roaches anyway, whether that's because he wants to all-in, or whether that's just because he knows that this is what Kelazhur likes to do. Then, you know, whatever that reason is, he was looking to go Roaches pretty early in this game anyway. I mean, the Roach one was already down before Reapers were really... When just one Reaper was crossing the map, so there's not really a lot he could have seen to tell that. As we're going to see the... I mean, these Reapers straight away are just getting so much damage done. We're going to see... We're going to turn around, we're going to actually kill off a Queen there. As we're going to see just a few more grenades coming down, and actually doing a pretty good job, as we're going to see the... well, one of the Reapers just go down, just fall. And the rest of them just pulling away over to the left. Another couple of Reapers coming up and joining together. Natural CC starts up from Kelazhur back at home. I mean, again, this was not kind of a, oh my god, I'm going to cut SCVs for days to get my Reapers out ASAP. This was a, oh, I'm just going to, you know, put down 3 racks while I make, you know, when I can afford them, while I'm making SCVs. I'm just going to end up going 3 racks Reapers. So he's, you know, able to afford his CC nice and early is what I'm saying. And he's in a good work account, so actually killing off a few drones like he's done so far has been really good for him, especially as he continues to fight against these Roaches. Really nice grenades from Kelazhur, and yeah, I think actually losing another Roach there, he's going to start making this GG. I think JimRising a little bit too far behind. He did it all. He actually had a lot of Cloak Banshee builds as well. So he had, you know, a wide variety of... different build orders that he had to use in this matchup. And JimRising as well kind of showed us a lot of different builds in Copa America too in the TvZ. Kind of mostly focused on kind of Lingbane Muta playstyles, if I'm not mistaken. If I remember correctly. To the lower left hand side of the map from Root Game, it's going to be our red Terran player. It is going to be Kelazhur. And to the lower right hand side is going to be our blue Zerg player. Of course, in this Root team kill, it is JimRising. So, as the hatchery comes down for JimRising, we're going to be seeing, obviously, hatch gas pool, most likely. Not probably not going to be a free hatch before pool. He wasn't there when free hatch before pool today. It's fire kick, right? Fire kick against Bunny goes free hatch before pool and ends up further behind than if he'd just gone hatch gas pool into a third hatchery super early because of the fact that he just lost so much to the first Reaper of the game. I mean, that's why you just don't go a free hatch before pool against a Terran player. So, not really too surprising. We're going to see this Overlord moving out right now for JimRising. Going to be seeing a SCV just running underneath. And just going to be running on in towards the main base, have a little bit of a look around to see what's going on. Reapers once again from Kelazhur, but of course not anywhere near in the extremes as it was in that first game. He is going to be going into just the single racks this time, and just a very standard Reaper expand build order opening. Very much kind of just a go-to in TvZ for whatever build you're going to do. This is probably going to be the first 3 or 4 steps of your build order guide, like, you know, Reaper, racks, gas, racks, gas, Reaper, orbital, CC, pretty much what you do every time into a factory. Although that being said, we have lately been seeing this kind of different build with the second racks coming down very early, so that's something we have been seeing a little bit of. And then like a later factory, slightly later factory. But it's just going to be a very stunning factory from Kelazhur, and he is going to take a second gas too, which is the other thing we want to kind of keep our eyes on now, because that means he's probably going to tech in towards the starport, and probably means he's going to look towards kind of getting some damage done here early, and not necessarily, yeah, I mean, looking to kind of just sort of, going towards the starport, and, you know, there's so many builds he can do from this. He could just go into Hellions and then get a medevac out or so. He could just go into, say, a Liberator. He could go into a Cloak Banshee. He can have Hellbat timing. The possibilities are really endless here for Kelazhur in terms of what he can do off of this sort of opening. I mean, no reactor means that he's actually just going to go, well, he won't go Hellions at least. He's actually going to keep on making Marines so he can knock down these rocks very early on. And we're going to see a very fast lair from JimRising. Now, this very fast lair is very indicative of either a Nidus network or of a Spire. A very quick kind of like 2 base Spire, yeah, basically. And we are actually seeing a lot of the Spire players today. This map was actually originally kind of very popular for Nidus all-ins. But now, I think, going to be a Spire from JimRising. I mean, 2 more gases, no sign of anything else. I mean, no Overlord to drop a Nidus network with into the main base nearby anyway, unless you drop it with this one. So, just in general, just very fast Mutalisks coming out from JimRising. I'm just going to be looking to... I mean, does it play to the map? Well, yeah, sort of, because this third base can be very hard to hold if a kind of a tank comes in early and kind of drops down here and is aggressive onto the third base. Whereas Mutas are able to kind of push a medevac away, they can fly around, pick off a tank from an angle, so it kind of makes sense actually. We see the Spire dropping down. It's kind of funny because in the Korean scene we see the players never really kind of going 2-base Spire at all. In the kind of events we've been casting lately, like the Leifeng Cup and the Doyu Star Masters. But, yeah, we've never really been kind of seeing that from them. The kind of the fast Spire, they've all just said, well, you know what, I'm going to try and hold this with a fast statue. Whereas in the foreign scene, pretty much every Zerg player we've been seeing today and yesterday has been going for a very fast lair and a very fast Spire on this map. So, I mean, not all of them, but a good majority of them. I mean, multiple times we've seen it, at least today even, I think. A couple extra racks coming on back at home from Kelazhur. He's already building his third CC in position, which is, well, something you can do on this map when you take down these rocks early on. Viking out as well, just going to be hunting down the Overlord, and we're going to see the Liberators on the way up very soon. He's going to get the starport up, and when he sees that it's a fast Spire, which, I mean, has he seen it yet? Well, no, not yet. Not really. You saw, I think that was just a Spore Crawler building earlier. That's what made me stop and think for a moment there. I don't think he's seen this just yet. He definitely hasn't seen the Spire right now. Okay. So he hasn't really seen it, but double engineering bay, I mean, he's got reacted on the starport now, so he can start Liberators if he wants to. Oh, he's actually going to build another reactor, so not going to react out Liberators just yet. But might kind of turn in towards that at a little bit of a later point here. As we see that Overlord is going to go down. And that Queen just going to be pushing away the... you know, you may as well just push away that, Muse coming out and Queen helping to push away that tank. Gonna drop down once more. Muse is gonna buy. Medevac gonna kind of could have got away actually. He kind of was gonna target the tank, so Medevac actually still does get away. As the Viking gonna have a little bit of a trade, a little bit of a fight with the Mutalisk here. Gonna kind of win, and actually this Viking will win one-on-one with the Mutalisk. So Viking gets a Mutalisk kill. It's a pretty effective Viking. Kills off a couple of Overlords, kills off a Mutalisk. not bad at all. As we see turret on the way up, Kelazhur very well prepared to deal with these mutas, and well, I mean JimRising is going to drone up now, and again just looking to utilize this early muta count to his advantage in whatever way he can. Picks off an SCV and a Marine so far, turns around, takes a fight, and he could just a little bit misjudged, needed to pull that muta back a little bit earlier. So a couple of mutas lost already. It's not the best of openings for JimRising. Kelazhur taking small victories already in game number 2. And of course, leading 1-0, that's going to make him feel pretty comfortable, and JimRising just needs to keep it together. I mean, okay, it's not been brilliant for him. There's an Overlord as well, not brilliant, but when I say, talk about Kelazhur doing well and JimRising not doing so great, as I said, they're small victories for Kelazhur, so it's not like, oh my god, he's lost the game. It's like, oh, well, Kelazhur is in a pretty good position compared to if both players played perfectly, maybe what they would be in instead. So, I mean, that's not very good phrasing, because if both players play perfectly, then the mutas might get damaged. I don't know, like, you know what I mean, though? It's like, he's not, small victories is not like, oh my god, the game's over. Is, all I'm trying to say. As we see mutas coming in, actually going to start trying to catch a couple of these medevacs, but Marines just going to keep on unloading. Mutas are going to start going down here. They're still fighting against these Marines. I mean, at this point, I think this has almost been a worthwhile trade for... I think it was a worthwhile trade for Kelazhur. I mean, 2 mutas dead already, then 5 more for, well, I mean, a medevac and some Marines. I think it's pretty nice more than anything, because lowering the muta count is almost always a good thing. We see JimRising right now, double Eva Chimp actually going to go into Roach upgrades, the Roach Roaring down and Roach Speed on the way. And so his plan here in this game is to not really... It's kind of a... It's in a way, it's a weird sort of all-in, because you're kind of banking on doing so much damage with your 1-1 Roach attack. Now, Kelazhur is building up Widow Mines. He's not really building up a very good kind of army to deal with kind of Roaches. So just in general, I mean, the general plan has got to be for Kelazhur to... For JimRising, rather, to kind of harass, do damage with the mutas, put Kelazhur, slow Kelazhur down, and just stop him from being ready to deal, maybe force Liberators to deal with the kind of, to deal with the mutas and so on. Force units which are not as effective against the big Roach follow-up. As we're going to see JimRising, well, he wouldn't be able to protect this 4th base just yet, but instead he does take a drone and put it into very far top right, which is something Kelazhur just might not think about checking, and if he doesn't, well, he will get away with this, and it'll be a nice little advantage for him. As we see a couple of Roaches just joining up together for JimRising. A few Marines just moving out, a couple of Widow Mines as well, just sitting nearby. And these rocks are just going to start going down as well. Kelazhur just starting to make his way through these. And yeah, so JimRising just able to kind of... Okay, he actually finds this 4th base up north. So this is really nice for him, shutting down the 4th. JimRising cancels immediately. He's going to have to take down these rocks before he can realistically take that 4th base. That being said, though, I mean... Kelazhur's army is still up to the top right, or the drop is. I mean, it's not his entire army. But when you look at how much Kelazhur has back at home in comparison to what's about to be hitting him, it's a lot of Ravages, lots of Roaches. JimRising looking for this timing very soon, but these Widow Mines, I mean, they see these rocks going down. He sees the Roach attack as well, so he knows it's Roaches. And I get the feeling that Kelazhur will hold on without taking as much damage as what he's about to deal to Kelazhur. I mean, this double drop comes in. Already a few workers going down, and Kelazhur doesn't even look as though he's responding to it just yet. Widow Mines are going to start going off as well, and, well, actually, a couple of them get avoided, and Corrosive Battles are good. As we're going to see Kelazhur just pulling back. SCVs will have to be pulled into this just to tank a little bit. We're going to see these Barrio Force stimming in over to the right-hand side of this army, backing away, dodging Corrosive Battles. Roaches have gone down, only really Ravages left over. This attack to the right-hand side, though, is going to kill the 3rd base, and so... If nothing else, Kelazhur is going to be taking damage, which he's also returning. I think he is in a good position. I mean, he kills the 3rd base, and he's eventually going to clean this up as well. He keeps his medevacs alive, and JimRising, he knows it. This attack hasn't worked. It is kind of, in a way, a little bit all in, because you don't have a follow-up. You're going to be like 10, 12 minutes in the, 10, 11 minutes in the game.